What is up, guys? Welcome back to DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex. I'm alone today. Levy is out and about doing shit, whatever. So I'm going to be filling in today, alone on the casting couch. We all know how this shit goes. So, today's topic, we're going to be covering cover bands. Now, it's not really much of a topic. At face value, you know, cover bands exist. What the fuck else do we need to go into? In our scene, there seems to be just a bit of controversy with cover bands. And I never really noticed it until I got more into the scene. You know, when I was a kid, you know, you heard of like Back in Black, the AC/DC cover band that's really well known. My dad is into some like hair metal cover bands and whatnot. I remember seeing like a Guns N' Roses one and an Aerosmith one with him when I was younger. I didn't really think much of it. I thought they were kind of lackluster. But that's not the point. The point of these cover bands is, or the point of this topic rather, about cover bands is, why is it controversial in our scene? And I thought of a couple of ways, and I've heard the debate on both ends of the spectrum. So, a cover band, can't believe I'm explaining this to fucking people. A cover band is a band that plays songs exclusively done by another band. Like we have Metallica cover bands, Megadeth cover bands, Slayer cover bands, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to name any in the local scene due to my opinion of cover bands. Some of people in said cover bands are my really good friends, and I respect the hell out of all of them. But for me personally, you know, I like hearing a good cover of a song. You know, Chemicost always does like a cover song at the end of one of their set. Crucifix does a really good rendition of Troops of Doom from Sepultura. Electric Vengeance does a really good Misfits cover, and they also do Fight for Your Right to Party, which is amazing. I plan on, with Skull Archer, to do a cover myself at the near end of our set. Not the last song, but the near end of our set. So, playing covers is fun, and hearing a local band do a cover is cool because you get to see what their take is on it. Or, you know, they put their own spin on it. And it's just, it's interesting to experiment with. And I mean, to be honest, when most bands are starting out, they start playing covers just to kind of feel each other's rhythm out. So by no way, shape, or form am I against people playing cover songs. What I am against, though, is cover bands. And the reason why I am against cover bands is because, for the most part, essentially, they're making money off other people's work. You know, like, there are a lot of cover bands that are in this area, and they do get together and they do shows. They book shows and events and whatnot. And if you don't know how our shit works here, for any outsiders that are watching this, at our local shows, we have a tally system in effect. You go into the club, the bar, wherever you're going to a show at, and you pay the admission fee to get into the local showcase. And they ask you, what band are you here to see? And you just name a band, and that band will get a tally. Depending on the promoter and depending on the location, that could go in a couple of different ways. For example, my debut show, every tally is going to give me X amount of dollars. Okay? At the other show that I'm doing the week after, I get that money, but only after an X amount of tallies have been met to help pay for the employees and blah 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 blah. So there's that. And so when cover bands are on, you'll see them on this checklist for the most part. I don't know if there are some that just do it for free or not, but if you're giving these cover bands tallies, then they are making money off play material that is not their own. And if they sell merch, then that just goes even further in making money off other people's work. And I'm just not a fan of that. As someone who is someone who has studied business in college and works under a family company and understands the core basics of business, it's just like, I'm a pest control technician. So for example, let's say someone finds out that I am one, right? Well, then let's say they start using my company's name and they went out and did pest control under our banner without us knowing about it. Or, yeah, without us knowing about it. They're going around, they're doing work, and they're spreading their business under our name. We're not getting any of the money, but yet we're having someone run out here and do it for us when we don't even know about it. Like, this dude's just getting money off our name, off our reputation, because we are a triple B company, the company that I'm talking about that I will not name. I think of it like that, and I think it's straight up theft. I don't really, again, I respect people in cover bands. I do not respect cover bands themselves, though, because it's just something I cannot get behind with this whole theft. I mean, for me personally, a cover band, in order for me to be like, okay, that's fine, is you would have to be a cover band that will not accept money, that will not make merch, and that will not promote themselves. If you want to do a cover band, go for it. But you should not earn money off of other people's work. You really shouldn't. It's fun to play covers. I'm learning a cover right now with my band, and it's fantastic. And again, hearing all these other bands do it too is awesome. But it's just not something that should be made profit of. And a lot of people have this opinion, and I didn't normally get this opinion until I started reading the controversy around it. I didn't formulate these opinions until very recently. And I really haven't heard any pro-cover band arguments. If you have any, and if you support cover bands fully, then please give me your arguments, and we can have a discussion about this. But I just can't see it. I mean, yes, it's fun. It doesn't mean that you should be able to make money off other people's work. Now, again, if you are one of those cover bands that does not do the three things that I said, then I think you're fine, you know? And like, well, I'm doing this and this, and I'm not doing this or this. I just want to play. That's cool, because that just means you're just showing straight up homage and respect to whoever you're playing, or whoever you're covering. But now I'm going to hear arguments because I said, because of my pest control argument, and how I said this dude who stole our work is going to be making money off us because he's doing it under us. But then I guess people will be like, well, when you're going to do the cover that you're going to do, aren't you getting paid for something that you didn't make? Well, you can really, if you want to think about it like that, sure, that cover is going to be 3 minutes of our 30-minute set, and it's just to, you know, pump people up, you know? And it's like, oh, well, then why can't we do the entire thing? Because the thing is that I'm writing my own material. I'm working on my own material 2 times a week here at my place. I'm putting in work and effort to have my own sound. And so, there you go. For the most part, it's just me and my guys putting our heads together and making stuff that is ours. I am not going to expect to be paid if I go out and play 6 effing Pantera songs on my set. I'll get away with 1. I'll do 1 cover, you know, a show. That's it. And sometimes I may not even do a cover in my sets. So really, that argument would fail in my eyes because I'm still working on my own stuff, and you are hearing my own stuff for the most part. I also did covers where it sounds a lot different from the original. Like, for example, Megadeth's version of Paranoid is really good. Pantera's version of Hole in the Sky is really good. Fucking Psycho Stick's fucking version of Danger Zone is cool. You know, they all put their unique spin on it. it's fine, you know. We may not put a unique sound on what we're gonna play. We may not be able to, but we want to play it. It doesn't mean that we're gonna put a whole set to the band that we're gonna be covering on our debut show. And I really can't think of any other arguments. I mean, I really don't feel anyone else can really counter this argument. I mean, look, if you are a pro cover band, or if you are in a cover band, let's talk about this. Because I really cannot formulate anything. And what even sucks even more is that normally I'd be like, Le'Veon, give me your input. Well, that's not going to be happening today. So I feel like this episode, if I egg it on too long with the same talking points, will just get boring. So I guess this is going to be an extremely short episode, and we can open up discussion from here. Next time, however, or next episode, the band that I had lined up had to cancel. And so I'm desperately looking for somebody else right now. I'll probably find someone by the time this is up to Sunday afternoon, because I do need to announce somebody by Monday. So just have faith in me on that, and I will definitely try to get in touch with anyone and anybody I can to get this shit rolling. Again, let's open up the debate for this. You're personally never going to get any of my money if you are in a cover band and you are doing the tally system. I'm not buying your merch. I'm not giving you tallies. For all the reasons I just said previously. So guys, one more thing I do need to say is that I am no longer going to be uploading on SoundCloud. SoundCloud only will let me upload 4 episodes. Otherwise, I have to pay like $15 a month. I'm not paying $15 a month to do SoundCloud. I already have other shit that I'm paying for, and I don't have an unlimited budget, okay? So that's why this is still kind of shit tier right now. I have an empty wall right here, but this will be taken care of very soon because I know a lot of people don't like it. Another thing I wanted to point out was DFW Metal Mayhem is not a promotional page. I've noticed I've been getting a lot of people like posting like their shows and like you should like this group and blah 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 blah. DFW Metal Mayhem is a podcast page to promote the local music scene and, you know, our episodes. I mean, yeah, every now and then you will see me, like, you know, like I did with like the Stynax thing, where I announced their new singer. You know, or I shared the post that announced their new singer. Because if there's any like big news in the metal scene, you know, I'll throw it up there because I didn't want to promote shit like that. You know, like, oh, you know, big news about this band, big news about this band. And I may eventually like post shows and whatnot. I'm just trying to get a test for everything to see how everything else works. And by next week, we should have our very first album review coming out now, or coming out. The band whose album we will review knows about it already. It's a great fucking album. I cannot wait to do this album review with Le'Veon. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I guess this is also like a update video too, as with the topic. Which, speaking of that, Le'Veon and I were talking about it, and we were thinking of having bands on every week. As of right now, that will not happen. I cannot put it into immediate effect because I don't think a lot of bands will be up for it in such a short amount of time. But I will definitely start doing that soon. I feel like we will run out of topics like these eventually, and we should just bring in fucking more people here. I mean, you're here to see bands, figureheads, and, you know, it's cool that people click on the episodes where there are non-band episodes and watch us, because we really appreciate it. But we definitely know that you guys would rather want bands and figureheads every week. So I open up the invitation to anybody. If you are a figurehead, if you are a bartender, a sound dude, guy who works the doors at bars, if you are a band member, a promotional company, Or fuck, if you're a photographer that just goes to a bunch of metal shows, let's have you on. You know, you can always hit me up. You can always hit Le'Veon up. If you have us that on Facebook, you can message us on Facebook. I really don't use the Twitter a lot. The Twitter just kind of regurgitates what my Facebook is. If you're on Twitter, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to get a reply from me. So just, you know, hit me up on Facebook or message the page. And let's just get you out here. Let's have some fucking fun. This Saturday, or today rather, I'll be out in Tomcats doing some promotional work. So by the time you see this, it'll already be over. It's a great show, a bunch of awesome bands. We'll pass out a lot of cards. Hopefully we can get something from there. Alright guys, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and share it with the whole fucking community. And this has been DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex.